your way through the wrestling industry. So we got two guys who follow throughout the game. You have Muchacho Man, who is someone who grew up idolizing the Macho Man Randy Savage, and he's like sort of a nobody. He's a new up and comer, trying to make a name for himself. And then you're also following Brink Logan, who's like your prototypical like Great Northern Canadian wrestler, comes from a long line of wrestling family, deeply entrenched in the business, and he's sort of trying to navigate being a good company man and making a bigger name for himself. We got a lot of great licensed guys for the game, a lot of great classic wrestlers like Macho Man Randy Savage, Junkyard Dog, Andre the Giant, Jake the Snake Roberts. But beyond just like these classic like 80s and 90s guys, we wanted to make this a love letter to all of wrestling. So eventually you'll come across a luchador area in the game where you meet the LA Park family. We have like the way the world's set up. It's set up like real old school wrestling where each part of the world maps a different territory with their own wrestling federation. But it's like going through a time where it's like going through some big changes. So plush action wrestling is like the big federation that's starting to like absorb everyone up.
Okay. All right, cool. I was like, the fact that you were able to get a lot of the classics. I see there's a lot of different iterations and generations of the Macho Man. I see you got Diamond Dallas Page, you got Jake the Snake Roberts, a lot of classics. Who are some of the other big names that we?
Double J Jeff Jarrett.
Oh,
He's in the game. There he is, right there. He's been great to work with. He was actually here for a couple of days working at the booth with us. It was a lot of fun working with him.
Yeah, that's absolutely awesome to have a legend like that.
Yeah, it was great.
So what inspired y'all to want to do a turn-based and like old school RPG with wrestling?
So we originally set out to make a wrestling game, and as we started working on it and developing sort of the mechanics and especially the narrative of the game, we started realizing there's some things we wanted to do that actually fit an RPG a lot better, where like with the narrative we could start writing stories that involve kind of the business and industry of wrestling a little bit more, which is compelling in its own way, you know?
Oh yeah. And you think that some of the classic wrestling games had that kind of like, not just what's in the ring, but there was a lot of backstory and what goes behind the scenes.
Yeah, and then with the mechanics of it, like there's just so many cool things we get to do with that, where if you're playing a wrestling game, usually you can like assign a manager to your wrestler, but it doesn't really have a huge amount of significance to it. But in this game, you know, you have to make moral choices throughout the story, whether you're going to be a face or a heel, and that will actually affect what managers you can have, and the managers all have their own special abilities and special buffs that they can give you.
Okay. So right here it says...
You want to hit A?
A? Alright. Very strikes. Okay, so I see here you also have a bit of a timing mechanic with
so we have a timing mechanic with the moves to sort of give it a little bit more of a wrestling feel to it.
Also kind of that RPG that you see in games like Super Paper Mario and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
exactly, yeah. And then sometimes you'll hit a guy and you can knock him against the ropes. It gives you a chance to get another attack in there.
Okay. So now we got the height meter.
Yeah, so it's showing you the height meter. The height meter is a pretty unique feature to this game where if you're doing the same move over and over again, like you're just throwing strike after strike after strike, the crowd will start to turn against you. And it'll start to affect you negatively. Like you'll have like some debuffs. You might not get those button prompts anymore. You know, you might get less of a reward at the end of the fight. But if you keep varying it up, mixing it up, and keeping the crowd on your side, you'll get the opposite of that. You might be a little bit stronger, you might easier button prompts to land, get more money at the end of a match.
Okay. Very interesting. So it really kind of emphasizes, you know, mixing it up and playing different, you know, not just the one
Yeah.
Okay. So this must have been, like you're mentioning, this is very much a love letter to wrestling fans, old and new, and really being able to sit down with those legends to kind of really work on the game.
Yeah.
How long have y'all been working on it?
Yeah, no, it's been fantastic. I would say one of the two big ones, well, three big ones for me, I think, that were just like huge highlights for working on this project. We're hearing like Randy Savage's estate and Andre the Giant's estate saying like, you know, they would have loved this. They absolutely would have wanted to be a part of it. Like that was really exciting to us. Me personally, LA Park, who's like a big name luchador.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite. He might be my favorite wrestler of all time.
Oh.
So getting him in the game was like huge to me. I was so excited about it.
Yeah, and you think that if you're getting all these wrestling legends that are outside of just what people know with like traditional WWE, but worldwide, like you said, getting luchador, so
Yeah.
to be able to expand to that international territory.
Yeah. And there's a whole section of the game dedicated to luchadors and what makes them great. We have our own luchador that we created for the game, the Lochador. He's half fish, half luchador.
Oh, that's interesting. That's awesome. So what platforms is the game looking to launch on?
We're going to be multi-platform at launch, so PC, Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, all right out of the gate.
Right out the gate. And when are people going to be able to get their hands on the game?
We're looking at by the end of this year.
By the end of the year. Okay, so no set time frame, just hopefully by end of 2020.
Yeah, no set time yet, but you know, keep an eye at us on social, MegaCat Studios. You know, go to our website, megacatstudios.com or WrestleQuest.com. Join our Discord. That'll be a great place to get updates on when we can start announcing those things.
Definitely. So I'm glad to be able to kind of sit down with this and definitely check it out. And just hearing how much passion y'all really put into it, especially as someone who grew up watching wrestling. I mean, I spent my fair younger years and even my teenage years following wrestling. WrestleMania 7, WrestleMania 17, both in Houston, Texas. I was there at both of them.
Nice.
I remember what WrestleMania 17 when the crowd started chanting, got JBL to quit. I was there at a lot of that.
Yep.
So crazy times.
We're based out of Pittsburgh, so we're a pretty big wrestling town. We have one of the greatest of all time, Bruno Sammartino's from Pittsburgh. That iconic Hell in a Cell with Undertaker and Mankind. That was in Pittsburgh.
I was like, Mankind, that's another class.
We got a deep history in our city of the squared circle, so it's pretty exciting. That's what makes this all so exciting for us. You know?
Definitely. I was like, well, I tell you what, I know I can't wait to get my hands on it for sure, and I'm pretty sure our fans here can't wait to get their hands on it. Thank you so much for talking with us about the game.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by, guys.
Definitely. So guys, y'all heard it right here. Y'all know when to look for WrestleQuest later this year, all platforms. Definitely for the wrestling fans, definitely for the RPG fans. So if you wanted to mix it up and get your ass in the ring, you already know how to do it. So we'll see you all in the next one.